Hello, my name is Haley Brooks, and today I will be answering a few questions for the competency Pl4002 interview practice. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Question number 1. What drew you to the early childhood profession? As a result of my enthusiasm for working with young children, I decided to pursue a career in early childhood education. The satisfaction that I get from seeing others succeed and seeing their interests flourish is what drives me. During my first year of high school, I began volunteering at my church Sunday school called Crossroads Community Church. After spending time with the kids in small groups, I realized that I wanted to aid in their intellectual growth so that they could become anything that they set their minds to. This led me to pursue a career as a preschool teacher. I wanted to make a difference in kids' lives so that they may have better health and happiness. A little about how my early childhood career began. I started my career as an early childhood educator as a floater at the Children's Nook in Summerville, South Carolina. I learned so much from being a floater. For example, I learned the different ways to communicate with parents, as well as incorporating developmentally appropriate activities for each age group. After a couple years, I went to the Oaks Children's Academy and became a 2-year-old assistant teacher. I fell in love with being able to teach and influence the children's learning. After about a year, I went to the Good Shepherd Preschool in Summerville, South Carolina, and became a lead teacher in the 2-year-old classroom. After a couple years, I went to Crossroads Community Church in Summerville, South Carolina, where I currently work, and started working as a 2-year-old teacher. What do you consider to be your chief responsibility as an early childhood professional? As a professional who deals with children, I consider it one of my primary responsibilities to keep an eye on the kids and offer suggestions for improving their social skills and sense of worth. To provide a space where the children may feel safe, supported, challenged, as well as educated, with the hope of getting the children to talk to one another and to facilitate the growth of young minds through a well-thought-out, hands-on curriculum, and to teach kids to speak to one another and mediate their disagreements. One of the essential skills for any professional dealing with children is working well with others. Efficient cooperation between school personnel and parents. Question 3. What is the role of collaboration in professional practice? Address collaboration with other professionals as well as families. In a collaborative classroom, every family actively prepares for and makes decisions about their child's individual educational and development needs. It also motivates teachers to actively seek out novel approaches to classroom management that can benefit the group as a whole. Continuous dialogue on the kids' development helps the school and the family. Question 4. What strategies do you routinely utilize to ensure that you are critically reflecting on your own growth as an early childhood professional? I can employ strategies for critical reflection, such as having a coworker watch me teach. Just how did it go, and how did you find out? As I pondered, I can keep a journal to document how my day's lessons and lectures develop. Being well read and well versed with a healthy dose of innate curiosity. I hope to build my character and sense of integrity as I learn about a topic, evaluate my performance to pinpoint opportunities for improvement, and get input from my children, whose perspectives I value highly. Spreading information, building coalitions, making changes, learning and developing professionally, pushing child and family concerns, and shaping public policy are all achievable goals for those who wish to see improved early care and education offered to all children. To ensure that I am critically reflecting on my own growth as an early childhood professional, I can start by thinking about practice and program decisions in detail and coming up with ideas for how to implement them. It will help me to promote the goals of high quality early care and education, such as assisting parents in giving their children a good start in school, elevating the status of early childhood educators, as well as providing excellent programs for all children. The second step is to pose fundamental inquiries like, what do we know about this child? How come we opted for that course of action and made that kind of reaction? Did we base our choices on our beliefs and ideas about how children learn, with an emphasis on fairness, inclusiveness, and diversity? How did we feel about the choice? What went right? Which part did not work? In other words, should we keep working on getting better, or should we reconsider our current course of action? Third, I need to reflect on my emotional state at the moment. Why was I feeling like that? How do I use these feelings to motivate improvement in myself, my colleagues, and the organization? Lastly, take advantage of professional and self-improvement resources, such as asking, can I express my critical comments during a team meeting? Is it okay if I suggest some changes? Is it possible to modify, and how will the results appear? I may use these strategies by keeping a daily journal on a child's or children's activities and sharing it with instructors and administration at the end of the day to reflect on the day and make plans for the next day. From what I saw, monitoring the kids' growth would be essential. Watching the children, I can use what I learn to create something new for them. Question 5. Briefly describe an issue that might be the focus of current or future advocacy efforts, and explain why advocacy is a hallmark of professionalism in the early childhood field. Advocates for high quality early care and education should focus on highlighting child and family problems, building support, effecting change, elevating the profession, and impacting public policy. Because it works to better the lives of children and families by influencing legislators and officials' views and actions, advocacy is a sign of professionalism. Public officials need and value the assistance that knowledgeable people like teachers can offer in order to fulfill their duties. I plan on continuing further in my profession and opening up a in-home daycare. Thank you very much for your time.